Alright guys, let me start this review by saying I am sorry. I am very sorry that I did not get to this earlier. This review has been a long time coming, but I've had many issues with my computer. I've been through, believe it or not, 3 laptops. Finally got one working. Did a couple stopgap videos in between, but finally, probably too late in the game, we are taking a look at the Rapido ACF Flexiflow hoppers. And we're looking at it in New York Central scheme. I've also got SYSX, US Systems scheme, and Conrail. So with that said, let's get right to it and unbox the Rapido Flexiflow hoppers next. And stay tuned to the end of the video because we'll also be looking at some Rapido 53-foot containers. I'll probably be doing a separate expose on those for Facebook groups, but the 53-foot containers are also very neat. And Rapido just does a great job on stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see these Flexiflow hoppers. You know, really highly detailed market items, possibly the most detailed rolling stock and passenger equipment out there. Easily make the case for that. And we're just going to zoom in here. And there it is. There's the Conrail Flexiflow. We'll Vanna White some other schemes here in a minute, but let's talk about paperwork real quick. You get the exploded parts diagram. You get a handout about Flexiflow hoppers and a flyer about Rapido. We love trains as much as you do. Stay connected. I don't know what a website is. I don't know what Facebook is, but I don't know what YouTube is for sure. I have no idea what that is. Instagram and phone number there. So you can call and bother Jason Schron and ask him how he ended up so awesome with a train in his basement if you want by calling that phone number. Don't do that. Bad idea. He's a busy man. Alright, so don't know where my pointer is because I've been out of the game for so long with this computer apocalypse, but here is the Flexiflow. So we're going to start. I've got to get really zoomed in because that's what Rapido kind of demands of you with all of their detail. It's just insane. So at the end you see the plumbing, you see the crew access ladder, the crew platforms, separately applied grabs for crew access areas including handrails here. There's a very thinly detailed airline hose that probably may not even be showing up on camera. Metal couplers, coupler cut levers on the end here. And that leads to the side where you start to see the etched metal or the etched platform up top here with 3 hatches up top. Just one of them really in frame right now because we have some other stuff to talk about, including I believe that's a jacking pad. Conrail Flexiflow on the side with the Conrail logo. Very clear, legible print and beautiful finish on these cars, by the way. So along the side is where you see really a lot of the prominent plumbing. Sorry, my camera's so zoomed in that it's really jerky here, but a lot of prominent plumbing going in between the bays and alongside the car. Very low rider car. So you want to make sure that you don't have too many obstacles in the way, because I can barely fit the front 3/4 of my skewer stick under here. But on the end you have car weight limits and load limits. Just beautiful print. Everything's very clear and legible, and I try to zoom in as much as I can so you can see for yourself, because if you go to 1080p at the bottom right hand corner and blow this up full screen, you can really see the detail. And I've gone to 4K, but really it's not quite advantageous for most people, so I stick with 1080p when I can. I do plan to get back to 4K once it's more, you know, advantageous for people to see what's going on in terms of detail. On this end, another crew access platform. You have the brake wheel that's installed facing the crew access platform. Stirrups to get on the platform. More plumbing. The ladder, you've got reservoirs for air. Helps facilitate the unloading of the cars, from what I understand. I don't know as much about it as I should. And there's that metal coupler, and of course metal wheels again. Maybe as an April Fool's joke, Rapido will put out a very detailed item with plastic wheels. No, I don't think people would like that too much. All right, now let's just go out a little bit. We'll set this down on the felt. To see the bottom bays there, you can see the 4 bays, and you can see the hatch on each of the bays. There's a little receptacle there. I forget what the purpose of that is, but you can also see how the actuator would line those bays up, or is attached to those bays to open those bays up once it's lined up with its receptacle. So pretty cool there to see that as well. But very, very finely detailed car. They went to every bit of detail you can think of. Alright, so that is the car in a nutshell. You know, those rolling stock reviews are a little quicker than everything else, but that makes it a good time to talk about. I'll first show you the other 2 schemes. So I'm going to show you the other 2 schemes. Then we're going to talk about Rapido 53-foot containers, because there's a lot of containers out there, but once again, I would suspect Rapido is at the top of their game on these containers. So SY, SX here. As you can see, these are more modernly done. You got the FRA striping, always tells me that. 2005 era plus, usually for those. And they do have some details that differ as well based on the road name. Or am I just seeing? Yeah, there's different details there. I was looking at both sides. So, different details based on the road name. That's typical with Rapido in a good way, because they're just going to nail the detail every time. They're not going to play games. They're not going to cut costs or cut corners. So, pretty cool. There's CYSX. And last but not least, we'll show you New York Central. And then it's going to be on to the 53-foot containers. And be careful how you pick these up, because there's so much detail on the side. You want to be wary of picking them up from the side too much. But there's the Flexiflow. You see Flexiflow on the side there. A New York Central and another scheme. The paint is just beautifully applied. I mean, it's not like a super high gloss, but it's just well done. Seems like a really good paint job on these. And then all the detail differences. See, you didn't see the ribbing here on these other versions. So they go to that detail length to cover the road types, which is pretty impressive. So, even show you the other side of that one. I mean, you can see the differences. So, pretty neat. And as those cars evolved over time, there were some adjustments made based on the road names and what they wanted out of their products. So, or maybe the car builder, it just depends on what's going on. But there are all 3 Flexiflows, and there's a lot of versions available, and there may be another run down the road. I'm not sure. That's not official, so don't take my word for it. But there you have the Flexiflow group. And I know, so I'm late to the game due to the computer apocalypse. We have to show these to you a little later than normal, but hopefully you can track them down, even if you have to resort to the evil auction site and things like that. What's going on here? I just unboxed some of the containers, 53-foot containers. So I'll show you that real quick. Because I got so backed up on the schedule, normally this would be its own video. But right now, we're combining videos on Rapido products. So there is a Schneider version of the containers, so we'll show you those real quick. You see the latch detail on the end, markings talking about I don't know what, maybe load limits again. Schneider, nice top. They're stackable. They plug into each other with little pins. You see top lift only on the side. Nice silver bottom. See the placard area molded in probably right about there. And rivet detail along the side there as well. Underside bracing detail there also. Now I'm going to get a couple schemes for you and not make you wait. So we'll be right back with more schemes. Alright, now we have them all lined up like beauties in a beauty pageant. The big prominent thing you're going to notice here is the heat box on these, or climate control units depending on which type you have for those that are applicable. But like this is a carrier unit here, this is a Heat King on these. So whether the goods need to be refrigerated or heated, you know, those are covered on the containers. Now I think the nomenclature said these were heat boxes specifically on both. So that might be the case, but I never want to misspeak because you guys will correct me in a hurry. Now the CP version, you can see a little better the placard area and the door latches that we were talking about and some of the detail that's molded on and some of the warning labels and placard areas on those. But I wanted to show you that. You got JB Hunt here, Canadian National, and we already talked about Schneider. So what I'm going to do now is face you towards Schneider. And I'm going to show you a CN. You can see the CN little triple threat logo there where they're doing 3 different modes of transportation. Those are intermodal containers, 53 foot in length on the real things. Obviously scaled down to less than a foot long here, but you've got the different modes of transportation: truck, train, and ship, which is how these containers roll. 53 feet on the side, as you can see there, in the nice paint. Once again, maybe I'm just now appreciating it, but Rapido paint jobs are very, very stellar. And we were just talking about that on the Flexiflow, but these 53 foot containers are very nice as well. JB Hunt, as you can see there, there's rivet detail going up and down the sides, placard area molded in on the side there. Hopefully the light is catching that right. And then CP here, high cube chassis required, it says. You can see the silver painted ends or bottoms here, and again stackable with those little peg stacking abilities, the pegs and the peg receptacle areas for stacking. So there you have it. There are the Rapido 53 foot containers, and let's not forget about the Flexiflows. It seems like a long time ago in a different video, but same video. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time right here on the channel. Because of the backlog from Computer Apocalypse, there's probably going to be videos every 3 to 5 days to catch up as we finally get rolling here. So look forward and buckle your seatbelts in for quite a few videos in the next several weeks coming up. All right, take care and have a good one. See you next time right here on the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.